Welcome to another episode of the Mindset Flex podcast. This is your host, Elise, and today we are digging deep into your psyche. So last episode, I explained to you guys where I have been, what's been going on in my life, and how, honestly, looking forward, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen or where my life is going to end up, to the point where I don't know what I'm going to be doing in 10 days, let alone next month or, 2 or 3 months from now on. And I know that being in a place like this is a lot of people's worst fear. The one thing that I've heard from my parents since I kind of moved out and, the bird left the nest is security, security, security. You need to have security. Go to college, get a job, get that paper, right? Get a degree, have the paper, have the security. Get a job, get a 9-to-5, have the security, have money for security, have a house to live for security. And my response to that is screw that. I don't need security. In fact, I don't want security, because if I'm constantly seeking security, guess what happens? The moment something comes into my life that kind of flips things upside down, I'm going to freak out. I'm going to go into an anxiety attack because, oh my gosh, I no longer have security. Oh my gosh, I'm no longer safe. I'm not safe. I'm freaking out. What's going to happen? That happens to so many of us. We get into these freak out modes because things are not turning out the way that we plan them out in our heads. In our heads. Let's get off topic for a moment. Let's talk about the periodic table. Now, if you're anything like me, you probably don't remember too much that you learned in middle school or in high school. I'll be honest with you guys. I was not like a huge studier. I definitely loved to have a good time. I loved to party. I was a gym class tryhard. I ran cross country and track for 4 years in high school. I was a yearbook editor, photographer, went to all the games. I just lived. I wanted to experience things. I partied. I had friends. I loved it. But when it came to classes and grades, it was hard for me to understand the point of all of this. So when I tell you about this, I did not learn any of this in high school, and it did not comprehend in my mind. The periodic table is all of the elements that surround us. Now, did you know that all of those elements are also what make up the stars and what make up us and everything around us in this world? Everywhere you look, it's those elements. We are made of stardust. Literally. I fully believe that God, the creator God, he created us. And one moment to the next, right, there was the Big Bang, which there is evidence to. And it's, 100% up to you what you believe. I'm going to share with you what I believe. So God created the heavens and the earth. He created the universe. And somehow Big Bang happened and everything just happened like one moment to the next and exploded. And these stars became a thing, and day and night became a thing, and the earth became a thing. And then these things around us, right, that were made up of elements from the stars. And you and me, we are made of stardust. And it took us so long, infinitely long, to get here today. Right? 13 billion years or something. And everything was created so perfectly for our enjoyment. And the trees give us oxygen, and there's day and night. And when we get tired, the moon comes up and it becomes dark, but there's still a little bit of light. And everything just works together so beautifully. Everything that surrounds us is purely love. And you're telling me that you are anxious and you have anxiety because Sally in accounting did not say the right thing to you today. Doesn't that just sound ridiculous? How long did it take us to get here and to experience this day today? So many things had to work together in order for you to be here today. Think about your parents, think about your grandparents, your ancestors, all the wars that they fought and everything that had to happen the way that it happened in order for you to get here today in this place, to be born in the United States of America. to have the freedom that you have, the mind that you have, you're healthy, like all of the things that had to happen for you to be spinning around in the middle of outer space in this galaxy. And now you're mad because it's raining, because God hates you because it's raining on your birthday. Come on. This world is so beautiful and there's so many beautiful things around us. And what's ruining your life is thinking that things have to be the way that you want them to be. You, this one little human that's on this earth spinning on this globe in the middle of outer space with stars all around you, that you are actually made of. You are made of stardust and of the elements that surround you. And you are made in the image of God, which God is love. That's what scripture says. God is love. Therefore, you're made in the image of love, which means you have free will to think and do whatever you want. And you choose to stress about the weather, to stress about another human being saying the wrong thing to you. And because someone in the past 10 years ago have said the same thing to you, and it turned out that they meant it in a certain way, now you're assuming, your mind is assuming that, ooh, this is the same exact thing. You have built up all of these assumptions in your head. You have spent so many years resisting life, resisting things happening to you that are now blocked inside of you. And you get triggered. You get triggered by so many things around you because you have not let life pass through you. Let me give you an example. One day you are walking in the forest, and you see this beautiful little blue bird, gorgeous bird, the most beautiful little bird that you have ever seen. And you get close to it, you get down to it, and the bird does not fly away. And it is such a pleasant experience that at the moment, you're fully present, as in you are so awestruck by the beauty of this bird, the sound that it's making, the fact that it's not flying away, that you are incapable of noticing anything else around you. Your thoughts, your mind is just fully focused on this bird, this beautiful experience, right? We tend to say it took my breath away, or it left me mind blown. It literally blew my mind. You see a beautiful sunset or a beautiful animal or a beautiful tree or something so gorgeous that you say, it blew my mind. What does that mean? It literally means that it blew your mind away, where you weren't thinking about Sally in accounting. You weren't thinking about middle school when people were making fun of your teeth. You weren't thinking about your ex that hurt you so bad and you just could not believe. No. All of those things no longer mattered, because the beauty that you experienced by the sight and the sounds of this bird put you fully in the present. So what happens now? You want to hang on to this moment. You want to recreate this moment. You want to go and tell all your friends, come, check this bird out. You have to experience this bird. But now it's a different bird and it's a different experience, and you don't really like it. You're like, I promise it was better the other day. Like, it was a better bird. But you're fighting life. You're resisting it. Just let it happen. How do you know what that person is experiencing? And why was that experience better than this? Why can't you just experience this new bird for what it is and make it the same, instead of listening to a voice in your head and creating different stories of why it was better the last time, or why this or why that? And we do this all the time with so many things. We go see a movie and it blows our mind and we love it. And now we bring our friends, but maybe the person in front of you is eating too loudly, or the people behind you are talking, and you're like, oh, I promised you it was better the last time. And I'm so sorry it's like this. And we create all of these things based on what? Based on preference, instead of just letting life happen, because so many things are out of our control. Actually, the only thing that's in our control is our attitudes and our thoughts, right? We fight it. We're like, oh, it wasn't supposed to be this way. It wasn't supposed to be this way. I promise it was better the way that I wanted it to be. And so we create all of these negative experiences for ourselves. Why? Because we cannot accept and love and experience what life is bringing to us at the moment? Why does everything have to work out perfectly for you to love your life, for you to enjoy life? And you guys, this is why relationships fall apart, because you expect it to be a certain way, which is impossible. You cannot control another human being. And you have this idea in your head, you get into a relationship and then everything is great, everything is wonderful, but then things start to happen that, oh, I didn't want it to be this way. I expected it to be another way. I didn't want to be treated this way. I was expecting this person to not do this. Why are you expecting so many things? And why are you coming up with it in your head that that's the only way it's going to be good? It's only good if it happens this way. Otherwise, I'm going to be miserable. Otherwise, I'm going to be sad. You're ruining your own life. You're making it miserable in there for you. Nobody else is doing that. The person isn't doing that. You can't control another human being. What are you doing? You are resisting life. And your resistance to it is what makes you miserable. It's not the other person, honey. It's not your job. It's not the way you look. It's your own thoughts about these things. It's your own preference. So now you have two choices. Number one, either change something. Okay, so if you don't like the way you look, change it. Or number two, you accept it, right? But what we do most of the time is we just complain about it. We have a certain preference, and if it doesn't go that way, we are miserable and we make ourselves miserable on the inside and we're suffering. We make ourselves suffer. It's not the outside things. We do that because we are not okay with that. We are born in America and then we complain about being born here. We hate the politics. We hate the president. We hate how things are. Everything is so corrupt. Everyone only cares about money. Okay, now you're born in Europe and you complain about that. All you want to do is make it to America. That's all you want to do. Land that flows with milk and honey. I've actually heard those exact words from my family, that they all believe that once we moved to America, again, I was 13, almost 14. When I moved to America, that's all I heard. You guys have it so easy over there. It's the land that flows with milk and honey and money just grows on trees. And, you know, we have these assumptions about things and we cannot be happy with where we are and with what we have. And it's ridiculous. It's your preference that is killing you, that's making you miserable. And obviously, I'm not saying that you should settle for toxic things in your life. There is a big difference between never being satisfied with life, with what you have, and with accepting toxic things in your life. You must always do the hard things, and walking away from toxic things is not the easy thing. That's the hard thing. Okay, choose the hard thing. Definitely work on putting yourself in a good environment, and environments that serve you, that inspire you. Buy the cool car, buy the sports car, buy the cool house if you can. Be with the love of your life, your dream partner. But remain grateful at all times about everything in your life. Be open to whatever life brings, because I'm telling you, I am the testament to this. When you let go of your crazy preferences and you truly surrender to the flow of life, if you believe that you are created in the image of God, in the image of love, and that God is love, which I fully believe, you can believe what you want to believe. I believe God is love. Don't you think that the creator God that already created this incredibly beautiful world, have you ever looked into your lover's eyes? Have you ever really looked into their eyes and you were just like, holy shit, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And I just don't even understand how it's there. Like this morning, I was looking into my love's eyes and I just could not understand how they could be so beautiful and so much color, so much life. And that is the thing that makes life look the way that it does. Those eyes, it's like an ocean galaxy, and it's real. And then our brains, and the fact that none of us have the same DNA, and how the trees give us air, and the flowers bloom and there's seasons. Like everything is so beautiful and created in love. And you're telling me that someone's out to get you and everything is just working against you. And do you know what you're doing, dude? You are manifesting bullshit into your life. You are actually attracting problems. Have you ever met those people, that constantly play the victim card and somehow like only bad things happen to them? I know those people. They're constantly complaining. They're playing the victim. Poor me, poor me, poor me. And somehow every time you meet with them, they have another bad story to tell, another bad thing that happened to them. And I'm over here like, dude, I just see the blessing in everything. I'm about to be homeless in a week. And all I see is the freaking blessing in it. It's your choice. And to circle back to my point, you're created in the image of love. Everything around you is created with love to serve you, dude, to serve you. Look at dogs. Dogs are just the most incredible little creatures, little creations to serve us, to love us so much that they could spend all day by themselves bored. And when we come home, it's like the greatest moment of their entire life. Like they've never been happier. Like everything is just so beautiful. And you are mad because it's raining on your freaking birthday and now God hates you. I've literally heard people say that and it just cracks me up. Like, really? Really? Because if it didn't rain, let me just tell you this. If it didn't rain, you'd probably die because the trees would stop growing, the grass would stop growing, lakes, oceans. I mean, so many things would be affected. The moon, I mean, gosh, I'm not that smart. I'm really, like I told you guys, I'm a community college dropout. So like I would have to do some research and all of this before I tell you all the things that would go south, but they would. Just trust me. And now you're complaining about how beautifully this world was designed and how you were created with so much love and intention of love. And you think someone's out to get you and your life is terrible and you're anxious and you're depressed and you need to take little pills in order to deal with life. And I'm truly sorry if that sounds too rough, but that's the truth. That is the truth. If you're miserable, it's because you're making yourself miserable by your own thoughts and your own emotions. Because you have your preferences and you have clung to them. Is that clinged or clung? I don't know. But you're clinging to them. You're clinging to things like that bird experience. You want to experience that again instead of just letting it be what it was. Don't try to force situations to happen again and thinking that that's the only way magic will happen. Magic happens every day. Stop wishing things were the way that you want them to be in your head and just let go of your preferences. It's when you let go of them is when you truly experience that peace and happiness and realizing that when you surrender to the flow of life, you're surrendering to the creator that created you in the image of love. And so much love will happen to you. It will blow your freaking mind. The amount of incredibleness that will happen to you when you truly surrender. I would not be here today living in Breckenridge, Colorado, if I did not surrender to something greater than I am, thinking that I know best, that I have to plan everything out, that I have to create everything. No. I don't have to do anything except for work as hard as I can with what is in front of me, what is being put in front of me. It's time to make yourself not suffer anymore. Let go of your preferences and just try it for a week. Try it for a week. Seriously, let go of how you prefer your partner to talk to you, how you prefer them to act, how you prefer your colleagues to act with you, how you prefer this, how you prefer that, how you prefer your children. Dude, just let go of it fully, just for a week. Try it out and see what happens when you let people be who they are and let life do its thing instead of preferring everything around you. It's your preferences that are ruining your life. So give it a week and live in full surrender. Surrender to the flow of life, to the flow of love. That's what I got for you for today. And I'm just so dang excited to see you in the next episode. Make the rest of your life the best of your life. I'll see you in the next one.